And
Yeah.
yeah, and
MTN
when
is
you-
another thing because the voice is no longer.
They are
selling, so-
having difficulties.
So
competition does fantastic.
But you see, I think people don't learn from experience. I mean, we had Rwanda Tail. Suffered exactly that.
Comfort zone.
Comfort zone.
Turikumwe.
We had these banks.
Tuwelimu was a very wrong
BPR.
whatever advert.
Former Bakar.
Yeah.
But BPR seems to be, it will pick up again with
No,
this.
it has had difficulty.
With this
Okay,
coming in of Atlas Mara.
But that's the setting, actually. This is setting the corporate image.
Mm.
I mean, BCR.
Yeah. I&M.
They have...
Competition is good.
We
It
love
makes
that.
you be able to improve whatever you're doing. Yeah.
No corporation should always say, I'm in the comfort zone. You can't. How do you stay in the comfort zone anyway?
Compet pushes you out.
Yeah.
Long time ago, no, not actually not too long, the transport routes out of Kigali were controlled by Onatracom.
Mm.
Maybe like 6 years, 7 years ago. It was so difficult. But today, my friend, they kicked Onatracom out of business. And you should have imagined if Onatracom was better managed, they would have still remained
Yeah. They would
the
be in the
leaders
market.
because they had the advantage of the routes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Eugene should be able to pick the tune because TVR will soon face the same.
The same competition.
But they've improved, eh?
A lot. There's been
Quite
a
a
lot,
lot.
of...
News content. Actually, TVR these days is very interesting to watch.
yeah, I agree.
The news is good.
Really watch it.
Nagujure wa TVR.
He's still in office.
When I'm tired and I don't want to hear anything.
I got Jonathan, TVR, they have improved a lot.
They were which? Amakuru.
They were Makuru. They were
But
music.
still on other small programs,
Yes.
agendas improving. That's really interesting.
Aiko Chana Makuru.
I don't know anymore because I never follow up, but it's usually recorded. All right. Okay. You ready? Did you switch on the AC? Are you guys feeling comfortable with the heat?
It's fine.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Let's just do quick and you go sleep.
Many minutes? 30? An hour?
We are on, but the show will be for 45.
Okay.
Yeah,
Only.
45, 50, yeah. But sometimes when it's sweet, they extend it till it's gone for another 4 minutes.
Has Reg responded to
Wapi. What is Rukarakara?
it's a hydro power project?
No.
No.
Isn't it hydro?
Rukarakara is these earthen bricks.
Oh, that's Rukarara.
Rukarara is the
Rukarakara is
Rukara.
earth bricks.
Bricks which
and burnt.
are not.
No, unburnt.
Yes.
It's Ruka?
Rukarakara.
Rukarakara.
I thought we were talking about power.
Because there's someone already asking why can the government allow them to use them for construction in the city and support them in improving quality. Were they banned?
No,
No. Rukarakara, no.
no. I can answer to that.
Okay.
In your world, I think they call them Adobe.
Adobe, yes.
Yes.
I think it's actually your question. Yeah. Push it to you.
Debate 411 is proudly brought to you by Mount Kenya University School of Journalism. Success in journalism starts here. Enroll for Master of Arts in Communication and Mass Media, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Media and Communication, Diploma in Journalism. Take advantage of fees reduction and modularized programs in line with Rwanda National Qualification Framework. Call 0787 05 2363 or 0788 979113 or 0728 551199 or visit our website www.mku.ac.ke.
And welcome to Debate 411. Thank you so much for making time for the program. My name, as always, is Eugene Anangwe. Thank you so much once again for being a part of this particular program. To be a part of any of our conversations, it's very simple. All you need to do, if you have a phone, you've loaded your airtime, and you have your bundles, you can just tweet. And the hashtag is Debate 411. And of course, you can tweet me directly also at Eugene Anangwe. If you're on Facebook, it's Eugene Anangwe. We'll be going through some of your feedback in the course of the program. Now, today we're talking about the issue of housing. We've tackled that topic here on this program, but we did not have representatives from RSSB and the Rwanda Housing Authority. Today, they are represented in the program. If you have any questions, you can as well ask them, or any suggestions to the housing debate in Rwanda. Talk to us, and that is the hashtag for the day, Housing Debate RW. Let me introduce our panelists right here with us. Is none other than Didier, who is the DG of Rwanda Housing Authority. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Eugene.
And
Thank
of course, we have none other than Jonathan, who is the MD RSSB. Thank you for being on the program.
Thank you.
And of course, we have Charles Haber, MD Century Real Estate. Thank you for being on the program again.
Pleasure is mine, and Happy New Year, Eugene.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year. Is it still new?
Yes, it's always
Debatable,
new.
always new until January 31st?
Yes.
Thank
That's
you
when
for
the
being-
Christmas trees come
I
down.
removed.
Yes.
Right. So also with us is an expert on urbanization and urban planning, none other than Dr. Bazima. Thank you for being with us on the program.
Most welcome.
The last time, Dr. Bazima, you were here on this program on this topic, you said you were worried based on the fact that we were looking at the issue of affordability of the housing in Rwanda and the issues to do with the cost. And you felt worried with the trend that we have today in terms of availability and the affordability of these houses. Today we have key people, other players in this particular conversation. Are you still sharing the same thoughts?
I think in many ways, yes.
Mm-hmm.
For two simple reasons. Housing is becoming quite available. But is housing affordable? And if not affordable, to what section of the society? What are the options? What are the avenues on making it available and affordable for the most of the citizens? That's my concern.
That is your concern. Before we bring Didier and Jonathan on board, Haba, you still hold the same thoughts that you had the last time we sat here on this particular topic about affordability and availability of housing in Rwanda?
I think the last time we were discussing this, two things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
One is that REG is not on board. So, we can't have built houses without power.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the whole city is in a blackout.
Mm-hmm.
The only place where there is power is TVR Studios.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate that there are very, very many people out there who are not able to watch the show. I'm hoping that probably there is power out on the streets. But there's another thing that I'm hoping that we'll be able to pick up from especially Didier. I'm not too sure about Jonathan and RSSB, but and it's the issue of government involvement. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's the most critical thing. When we were having this debate last time, a few months ago, Dr. Peter and myself were of the same opinion, that government has no option but to be directly involved
in the housing issue.
Yes.
Now, Didier, when you sit in your desk, in your capacity as the MD or the DG rather of Rwanda Housing Authority, the concerns that Dr. Peter raises and Charles raises, are these things common to you in terms of the things that you receive, in terms of concerns? Do you even agree with them that there is a problem when it comes to affordability of housing in Rwanda?
Actually, I agree with them, and that's why we have Rwanda Housing Authority to address those concerns. Number one, affordability. How do you define affordability? Affordability is defined as someone being able to have housing. It might be owning or renting using a third of his income, his or her income. So monthly income, year income, depending when he gets an income. So if I earn 100,000, so I should be able to either pay my rent using 30,000 or less, or paying my mortgage using that. So that's how affordability is calculated. So I have my affordability, you have yours, and so on and so forth.
So it wouldn't matter how the
So
low
now
earners
we now
categorize
then we
themselves in
start
this?
categorizing people. So we have low income earners, medium, and high. So now the debate comes in when we look at the very big percentage of people who are people who earns less than 150,000 a month. So we have a very big
number
of those people.
Yes.
Because the following category is can afford to go to bank with some subsidies, and another following category which is above 600,000, those people can get mortgages. There is also another problem we'll have to discuss here, is the interest rate. So now, much as I agree with them, now is how do we then provide affordable housing for those people? That's the question. Now, there are three things. One is the building material. Second is the land. And third is the financing. Because if I'm a developer and I get money from the bank charges me as a developer 18, 17, 19% interest. Then when I sell that house to you, Eugene, you go to the bank because you don't have the cash already. You go to the bank. The bank will charge you again 16, 15, 17%.
And we still have the Rwanda Housing Authority when this is still happening.
Yes, that's what I'm going to address.
How are you addressing it?
So, as of recent, last year, that's when we had our land, housing policy. I'm still having the land in mind because I spent so much time there.
In the land, yes.
In the land. So the new policy, and we have worked out some of the regulatory framework. That comes to the question he asked, how government is to be involved. Now, as last year, in November, we had Prime Minister instruction that set up guidelines and how support is given by government to an investor who comes to invest in affordable housing by providing infrastructure. And that's what we have done with RSSB. RSSB is going to do a first bunch of housing, affordable, for certain group, and government is providing infrastructure for such projects.
Are they bringing you back in on this? But feel free to jump in and interject in anywhere you feel like. But it's important to pick from the point that he made concerning the fact that what tenants have to go through vis-a-vis the availability of his institution, like almost a regulator kind of a thing or a watchdog kind of a thing. Do you have a feeling of the Rwanda Housing Authority as an institution being toothless?
I need to be educated about the do's and don'ts and their limits, the limits of the Rwanda Housing Authority. I did raise this thing at the show last week about affordability is not purely about affordable to buy. And I'm glad that we speak the same language, Didier. It should even be from the onset affordable to rent, if it's going to be affordable. And I want to be educated by Didier on this, on where Rwanda Housing Authority starts and stops. My understanding is that they are a regulatory and policy institution. My advocacy is that it should be beyond that to actually be a policing institution, a watchdog, but even much further on. Because in the absence of a building society that is owned by government or a construction company that is wholly owned by government, I want to see a Rwanda Housing Authority that can actually build houses.
Can you?
Yes.
Actually, that's what we are trying to see. Because building society is something you are thinking about.
So as we speak today, you
Yeah.
can't do those things. Those are no-go zones for
As
you.
we speak today, we have acquired land. And as we speak today, as a government institution, we are now looking for investors to partner in PPP to develop housing.
So is that
So
because
it's-
you have
it's-
a financial limitation or a legal limitation?
No, it's
because
not.
I think that's the
It's
issue.
not. It's
Yes.
not. It's a line that the government has taken, that instead of taking the whole resources going into the housing, when there are some investors who are there who can do that, government can provide infrastructure to arrange the burden of the development, and then this can be a partnership. It's not only with housing.
Eugene, I think my question is not being answered. Is it because it is a government decision that you partner, or it's because you have legal limitations within what you can
That cannot
do,
allow you
that
to-
cannot allow you to actually build?
No,
build yourself.
actually,
Yeah.
that's not the case. We can build.
You can build.
Yes, and
Yes.
for instance, to tell you the case, in a rural area we are building, by the way.
Bring those houses to Kigali, Chief.
So in a rural area, there we have to be careful, because otherwise, if their housing is not only for the city of Kigali,
Yes.
it has to go to secondary city. We have to do also planned rural settlement. So there is no conflict in a legal framework. The legal framework allows us
you to
so
build.
now the
That is
approach
the
we have
best news
taken.
I've had in 2016.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
good then.
Jonathan, for you, RSSB has also come under fire but from a cross-section of people, because some complain that you're using their contributions to construct houses which they themselves, that are contributing and toiling, cannot afford.
Well, I've heard those complaints, but it is really to say that they cannot afford. Okay, I can understand, because the big population, or the biggest percentage, probably they find them very expensive. However, as Didier mentioned, we have come into agreement with some government institutions where we can now construct affordable houses, where the government will be providing infrastructure. And then from there, we also make sure that the kind of materials we are using, they are locally made, or we try to make sure that we use the not, I was going to say the cheap, they are not cheap per se, but they are materials which can be afforded from here.
So they reduce the cost of
Sure,
making
sure.
these houses.
So
But
the-
before you go on,
Yes.
sorry to cut you short, but using the words of Charles Harbour here, school me
Yes.
on this fact that someone contributes and feels like whatever their contributions is being used for, they can't afford it, because you say you agree with some of them that say that. How can that be possible?
That's why I was saying that we are considering, so far the investment that we have been doing, they seem to be of high end, where the houses we have been building, they are more commercial. Even those which are residential have been from the high end, but we are coming down to see how we can make sure that we get out of Kigali. We are acquiring some other land outside Kigali, but also we are trying to see how we can make sure that we get other potential investors in a public-private partnership, whereby at least they can bring their technologies. And already we have few individuals who are very much interested, and we want to see how we can borrow from their technology or their expertise
To save the situation.
Sure.
You know, Eugene,
yes.
I don't want to be in Jonathan's shoes.
Yes.
Because RSSB, in my opinion,
Yes.
has done quite a few things in the affordable housing sector and delivered. And I'll give a few examples. The most recent but in the housing project that was done probably about 2007, 2008, I stand to be corrected. Fantastic idea. Right location, probably now things are changing a little bit in terms of that area, because from the time that development was done, you guys went in the middle of nowhere, did a low-end development, and it has raised the profile of that area.
Sure.
How I wish many of those could have been done, then you'd not be getting the stick that this man is giving you. The point I'm raising is, sorry, 1 second. The point I'm raising is, Jonathan, you guys are not doing a bad job. The expensive buildings that you're building and the expensive residentials that you're selling are not necessarily bad for the economy. It is just that the proceeds of those expensive ventures you go into need to be seen by the people, and I think that's where the missing link is. Yes,
because
yes,
in the end, as you just finished, because I cut you short there when you're making your statement, what you're trying to tell those who feel like their contribution is being used to carry out projects which they cannot be able to afford, what you're telling them is they should just chill. Their turn is coming.
Sure.
Is that what you're telling them?
Sure.
How long should they wait for this?
Already, we are starting a project to just say first week of February. I'm sure we shall break at Inibatsinda.
Second.
Yes, we are going to have 500 units, and these ones the government has contributed in terms of providing basic infrastructures, roads, water, electricity.
So they'll be rentals or for sale?
Not for sale.
For sale.
And we think already they have a policy who should afford. I mean, the people who will, not everybody, not you, not me. There are some categories of people who will be eligible.
Why? Why?
Because they are affordable. We are looking at the category of people we are talking about. Because
what price range, Jonathan? Give us a range. Don't give us an exact price.
Yes. I think it is between 15 and 19.
I think that's fantastic news.
Yeah. Actually, to tell you why we have ranges or why we have those categories of people, we don't want to end having people like me going and buy 4 or 5 houses in that area. So actually, we have heard that Rwanda Housing Authority has written to all government institutions. We have started with the civil servants to see who are qualifying for housing, affordable housing projects. So we want to see first home owner to first of all get the housing. We need to see who are the range of their incomes, so that we can design an appropriate housing meeting their earning. So currently we have had the responses from 56 government institutions. We're waiting others to give us their number. We are getting names, ID number, so that we can check if you don't own another house, because we can check with the land records. So we are getting the salary range, and we are getting also income. Because sometimes someone has a salary of 100,000, but he has a small boutique there, a small business. In the end of the month, he has...
penalizing entrepreneurs.
No, we are not penalizing. We will be
able... It's their fault to have more income?
No. We will be able to design for them appropriate house. Instead of designing him or her a house for 100,000, then we know there are these people who can go up to 5,000, 100, even if they are earning income, and so they are earning a salary of 100,000. So you see, it's giving us proper figures so that we can plan for those people.
You're an expert in urban planning. You've been listening to the processes and the plans that they have. What is it that you feel is not being done right here, before we look at what is being done correctly?
We are not learning from experience. I think when Nyarutarama was being developed, I was in Kigali. And most houses in Nyarutarama were being sold between 9 and 12 million.
When was that?
2006, 2007.
I doubt. That time I was working with the city of Kigali.
He doubts that. Could you
Now,
substantiate?
The interesting thing, when Nyarutarama was developed, when Gikondo was being developed by Rujugiro, when Gachuriro was being developed, we know the prices that people were talking about. But the unfortunate thing is that much as they will control and regulate who gets a house where, quite a good number of those houses have been sold at over 112 million. Now, how do we regulate a housing environment that is said to be affordable if we cannot regulate who owns what?
Actually, the first thing is to get housing, to get those houses. That's in Kinyarwanda they say ikituraje inshinga. So the first thing is to get the houses, then we can regulate.
Would that be too late?
No, it won't be too late.
His explanation?
No, it won't be too late. Because at the time he's talking about the development in Gachuriro, that was 2002 to 4.
Yeah.
So that's when people acquired those houses, and they were ranging between 9 million and 12, and there was the highest was 21 million.
That's already 10 years ago.
That time, if you look at the dollar, how much was the dollar in Rwanda? So how was the economy? What was the salary of a director or a minister at that time who could afford the 9 million? So this time, what we are doing, we are doing this survey to be able to match the income of people and what we have on the market. I have to, again, say this, because we have 3 major problems we have to address. One is land, because we cannot continue developing Batsinda like we developed Batsinda in 2007.
You're
It's
right.
consuming a lot of land.
Yeah.
We have to go up. How much we have to go up? We can't exceed 3-4 stories. Otherwise, we will start using elevators, and the cost will be very high. And also the issue of electricity and water. All those things needs to be factored in. Number 2, apart from land, we have an issue of the financing. So the interest rates are very high. Currently, we are talking about building society. That's something we need to develop in Rwanda. And we need to be able, there is something that government should think about it, and we have to think about it. If government puts a road somewhere, and the road crosses your land gets value. But the government doesn't get anything. So we should put in place systems to tax and get the return so that the government can put other roads other way. Otherwise, only you are getting, while the government is not getting. So there should be a compensation.
So you want people to be added some extra taxes?
Yeah, sure.
I think generally that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, you're
Generally
getting
that
a road.
makes a lot of sense.
You're getting a road. You need to contribute to it, isn't it?
One of the things I have...
Let me say
Yes.
the third part is material. A cost of cement in Rwanda is 10 times expensive if you compare it to China. Now,
So we go and get cement from China?
no, that's not the case. We need to put up mechanism to do bulk purchase. Bulk purchase for people doing affordable housing. So instead of myself as a developer, going to, let's say, Ruriba and buy Ruriba clay, so is there a way we can have a bulk or massive production of building material which reduces the cost of production? So there are these 3 things we need to work them out.
3 key things you've mentioned,
Yes.
but someone listening and watching can also sort of ask you and say they look as pipe dreams or very ambitious plans, but the question is when. We need those houses affordable now.
Yes.
Where? When?
Actually, we needed
Since
them
when?
yesterday.
We need them yesterday, as
Actually,
Dr. Bazim is saying.
actually,
when are we going to put these plans into action?
Actually, we are starting. So actually, the only project, the
500
project
houses
no,
coming in
it's not the
February.
only one.
Yes.
There is a project we are also going to fund. I'm not sure if I need to mention this specific project, but one in Rusororo. There is another one which is going to happen in Ndera, and another one in Busanza, and another one in Izinia. So currently, as we speak, we have 5 projects in Kigali, that in pipeline, that and even the support for infrastructure has been approved. The budget has been approved and it's going to happen. So we are talking. This is something which is going on, and that's why we took as Rwanda Housing Authority the liberty to write to all institutions to get people. So we need to know exactly who. Otherwise, investors were challenging us. By the way, you are talking about who needs the house, who.
They don't know who needs the house?
They were asking, give us the beneficiaries. They were challenging us.
Eugene.
Yes, before you come in on that one, I think we need to just sink it in and just get to understand these three key things that Didi has mentioned here. And then we take a short break. When we come back, we move the conversation forward, hold that thought. And also for those who are watching us right now, just keep tweeting, talk to us. I'm reliably informed that power is back. So we really anticipate to read more of your tweets. Just keep them coming. We are talking about the issue of housing in Rwanda. What are the key issues that affect this sector? What should be done to, avail affordable houses out there? What would be affordable for you? Because in the beginning of the show, the word affordable was debatable. And there are those who are saying affordable to me might not be affordable to you. So for you who's watching us right now, what would be affordable to you and what would you need to be done to make it more affordable for others? Talk to us at Debate411 or at Eugene Anangwe. Use the hashtag HousingDebateRW or the hashtag Debate411. We're back in a moment. Stay with us.
So Natasha, are we cornering our teachers? Are we being unfair to them?
At the end of the day, Fiona also mentions that the more you show them this condom, the more you're opening up their minds to having sex.
But do you feel well represented? Do you think the media issues are well taken to the table when it comes to advocacy? How do we convince them and say that we shut it down because you exceeded the limits?
The word conservation looks just complicated, but how do we simplify this?
What role do our schools play then? And the people around our children, what role can they play in order to avoid these children becoming a menace in the society?
Yes. Caroline, you just want to sound moral, but you're just not accepting the reality on the ground.
Well, I want to sound moral and encourage it and practice it.
Is an EA production.
Good news from the largest private university in the East Africa region, Mount Kenya University. We have reduced fees for undergraduates who want to pursue courses in business, travel and tourism, information sciences or IT, and social science related programs. We are also giving our alumni and bachelor students wishing to pursue master's programs a 10% fees discount. Our programs are modularized in line with Rwanda National Qualifications Framework. Mount Kenya University. My university, my pride, my future, my affordable education.
Welcome to Nakumatt Supermarket. Where quality, value, service, variety, and lifestyle matters. Enjoy our 24 hours shopping experience. Nakumatt. You need it? We've got it. For inquiries, contact our customer care service desk.
Debate 411 is proudly brought to you by Mount Kenya University School of Journalism. Success in journalism starts here. Enroll for Master of Arts in Communication and Mass Media, Bachelor of Arts in Mass Media and Communication, Diploma in Journalism. Take advantage of fees reduction and modularized programs in line with Rwanda National Qualification Framework. Call 0787 05 2363 or 0788 979113 or 0728 551199 or visit our website www.mku.ac.ke.
Right, thank you so much for being with us and of course for joining us. If you're just tuning in, this is Debate 4-on-1. We're just done with the first part of the program. Really sorry if you missed out, but of course the conversation is still going on. Housing Debate RW. We're talking about the question of affordability and availability of houses in Rwanda. What are your thoughts on this particular issue? Tweet us or Facebook me your comments, and all you need to do is tweet at Debate4on1 or at Eugene Anang. We will be reading some of your tweets and comments in a short while. We have Didier from Rwanda Housing Authority. We have Jonathan from RSSB. Haba is here from Century Real Estate, and of course Dr. Bazimia, who's an expert on urban planning. Now, when we were starting the program, for just those who were just picking us from where we started, you had
Those who
mentioned,
just got power.
for just those who got power and are powerful right now, you'd mentioned the fact that you were answering a question where someone had asked about the affordability of the houses RSSB is constructing using their contribution, and you said that for those who are feeling like this is too expensive for them, they should wait, that more affordable houses are coming. Would you substantiate that, just for the sake of those who missed that part?
But get me clearly.
Yes.
Yes, affordability is debatable. So to say that we shall reach at each and everybody's expectations may not be, if I say that we are going to meet any contribute his or her expectation may not, I may be lying.
Do you know you've just burst someone's bubble? Like they had expected that
Yes, of
my
course,
contribution will
what
one
we
day
do-
make me own a house, and you just say we may not
Of
meet your
course.
expectation?
Get me clearly.
Yes.
I don't want to raise too much expectations because there are some factors that we need to consider. In as much as we consider them, and we need also to make sure that we meet their needs in terms of houses, we need also to know that these funds we are investing, at the end of the day, we shall be required to give an account, because we don't want to reach at a stage and then when somebody goes for his pension or retirement, and then we cannot afford it to sustain the payout. That's why I'm saying that there is need of collaboration with other government institutions. If we are to come up with the affordable houses, of course there are some costs. I think it is Didier who mentioned it. There are some issues that we need to consider, especially we as Rwandans. The kind of products we are using, are they available? The cement you was talking about, all the materials we are using, they are very costly. And if we don't have the government to provide